How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And yes, it is Wednesday here on the show. You know what that means? We got a lot to talk about here today. Tonight is AEW Dynamite, San Jose, California, which means our own Dave Meltzer is going to be there. There actually is a Hangman Page MJF press conference, but Dave says he's not going to do it. So he's not going to be on the show tonight asking the question, what the heck's up with the overrun, Tony? Maybe on another day. But we got a full lineup for the show. We'll tell you what's happening. Also, of course, Smackdown is coming up on Friday. We got AAA Rey de Reyes coming up this weekend, which will be split into 3 parts for those of you watching on YouTube. And for this month, on Tuesday's Bryan and Vinny show, we will be watching all 3 parts of Triple Mania. So, tell you more about that as we get going. Sunday, actually. This Saturday-Sunday thing totally destroyed my entire weekend. After I arranged the whole weekend over Revolution being on Saturday, turns out it's on Sunday. These Sunday ones, man, I don't know. It'd be one thing if they ran in the afternoon on Sunday, but this show starts at, 8 Eastern? I think it's 8 Eastern. And it's going past midnight on a work and school night. Probably not for the best, but that's what they do. We've also got plenty of other news. An update actually on Shotsi Blackheart's brother. We do have an update as of right now. Her brother was missing. But we'll tell you about that after the break. He has been found. Also got some notes on Bloodsport, WWE and ESPN, the Death Riders and John Moxley, Performance Center recruits, the NXT television report from Tuesday night. Lots of fun stuff. Filthy Tom is going to be joining us here today on the show, and Lance will return on Thursday and Friday. So back in a moment to kick it off, Wrestling Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Chat GPT, Smackdown review starring Filthy Tom and Bryan Alvarez.
Welcome back, you miserable wretches, to another disaster of an episode of Figure 4 Daily, the only show on the internet that's guaranteed to make your brain rot faster than watching one of these Smackdown episodes. I'm your host, Filthy Tom Lawler, joined by the man who somehow manages to be more useless than a rubber knife in a prison fight, Bryan Alvarez. What's up, Bryan?
Let's not pretend you're the shining star of this operation. You're like a broken pencil. Pointless. And I don't even know I'm still here with you. Anyway, let's get to this train wreck of a Smackdown. Spoiler alert, if you were expecting a wrestling show, you've come to the wrong place. It was like watching someone fall asleep in real time.
You should know all about falling asleep, Bryan, since you've been half dead for years now. If enthusiasm was an Olympic sport, you would get a participation medal for showing up, but still lose.
I could tell the crowd was hyped for Drew, and Nakamura's music is always a banger, but it was just nothing. It's like watching a 5-minute commercial for a product you don't even want to buy.
And I bet the only thing that was more uninspiring than this match was your entire existence. Let's move on before I fall asleep right here on this microphone.
Tom, you think because you're a former fighter, that makes you a wrestling expert? You'd probably lose in a match with a traffic cone. Look, Jade's a star, but Liv Morgan, she's the human version of a please wait screen.
Liv Morgan is about as useful as a sandbag at a swimming pool party, who's like trying to make a turkey sandwich with no bread.
It's like the crowd went from yay to who's got the remote. Can we change the channel?
Liv Morgan's biggest move is making the audience wish for better things. She's like the human version of a wet sock. Nobody wants it.
I get it, Tom. You don't like fun. You don't like energy. You don't like anything that's not just sitting on your couch in your pajamas complaining.
More of the same.
Oh, we're back to more of the same, huh? Just like your wrestling career. More of the same, but somehow still a disaster.
Well, that's it, folks. SmackDown 2025 was more like SmackDown 2005. Same old stuff, same old disappointments. Join us next time when we tear apart something else for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, next time, Tom, maybe we'll actually have some real wrestling to talk about instead of whatever disaster this was. Until then, just remember, don't listen to Tom and don't watch Smackdown unless you hate yourself.
Whatever. It's your funeral.
What? I've never been so embarrassed doing this show as I was for the last 5 minutes. God. All right, back here on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Filthy Tom's here. He's all excited. Got a book coming.
Boy, I sure am excited, Brian. Yeah, I don't know if I've told you. I don't know if I've told the listeners, the readers of my X probably know, but I am on a quest to read a lot of books this year. My initial goal was to read 52, one each week. However, I am currently at 15 books read so far this year, and today another one will arrive. The story of Catch, the story of Lancashire Catch as Catch Can Wrestling, the first 50 years, 1820 till 1870, written by Ruslan C. Pashayev. So 4.7 stars out of 49 reviews, which is quite good for a book on catch wrestling from 1820 till 1870. So I can't wait to read it.
Tell me more about this era. What is so intriguing about it, Tom?
Well, it's not so much that it's just this, but I have been reading a lot of different books, and this time period is very interesting to me. Really, what kicked it off, I think, was the Carl Stern Pioneer era book that he wrote. And since then, I've been trying to consume as much from this time period as possible. The Ian Douglas, who was on the show while you were gone, Brian, wrote the Highland Games and Hippodromes book, which I learned a great deal from about the 1860s until about the 1900s wrestling scene when it came to Scottish wrestlers. God, do you want me to go through my list of books here? I've got so many books. I need to start asking people what I should read next. Remember, we read A Decided Novelty. I learned a ton from that Ian Douglas book as well. Bare Fist by Bob Mee, which took me like 2 years to read, about the old history of bare knuckle prize fighting pre-Queen of the Marquis of Queensberry rules. So that's why I'm so pumped up. I get to learn more, Brian.
Well, the reason I stalled so long is I'm putting on my Twitter and my Blue Sky right now, and on the chat, I'll do the Twitch and the YouTube chat, a link to pre-order my new book, Tom, Pro Wrestling for Dummies.
You didn't even send me the link first?
Well, I'm getting the link to the pre-order. You gonna go pre-order it right now? I figured I'd at least give you a free one, since you very much have been assisting me in this book, actually.
Don't tell anybody that.
Yeah, you and Lance. Lance can talk about it as well. But trying to get this on YouTube, but doesn't like how many words it is. But anyway, very proud of it so far. There's going to be a lot of behind-the-scenes info about pro wrestling. There's a lot of history. Much of what Tom is talking about right now, we're going to go all the way back to apes. You think I'm joking? We're going back all the way, brother.
Have you seen this dinosaurs show on Netflix?
What's that?
You haven't seen this? Narrated by Morgan Freeman. It's like the history of the dinosaurs.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm sure there's some dinosaur wrestling in there.
Well,
they can identify somehow by some bird bone that it could do a mating dance in a certain direction, 300 million years ago. So yeah. I'm sure they were wrestling each other.
Well, I put the link everywhere, so you guys can go up there and pre-order. Now it'll be out probably around SummerSlam-ish or a little bit afterwards, but Carl Stern has helped, and Tom has helped, and Lance has helped, and Gene Selassie is my co-author who's done some other books, including, I think, Avengers for Dummies, if I recall correctly. Another one of the Dummies books. But it's gonna be, I think, great, if I do say so myself. So anyway, pre-order your copy now and get your ballot ready, hopefully for best book. I want that category named after me, Tom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later. Hey, we got a lot of news to get into. So I do want to talk about Shotsi Blackheart. She uploaded, it says here, a concerning post on social media. She said, this was yesterday, my brother Dino is missing. His car was found crashed near Fort Mason/Marina District, San Francisco. Security footage shows him walking away from the vehicle afterwards. He may be confused or disoriented. He is currently undergoing dialysis, not himself. We are very worried about his safety. More information on how to contact the authorities about any updates on Dino can be found here. So this was yesterday, and as of today, she reported that he has been found, and he is being taken to the hospital for evaluation, etc. So that's good news, because it certainly was not good news last night. So all the best to Shotzi and her brother Dino.
Yeah, obviously, Brian, the internet wrestling community can be toxic
Horrible.
in some ways, right?
Yes.
But there are often good things that come out of it as well. And, I don't know if sharing this information necessarily on Twitter, Instagram, all the social media outlets is what led to him being found, but it certainly couldn't have hurt. So I was so happy to see her tweet that earlier today.
Very good news.
Yeah, Shotzi's awesome.
Hey, did you see who's going to be who's been added to Bloodsport?
Oh boy, did I ever. Do you want me to read off his accolades?
Sure, read off the accolades and we'll say his name.
This man has been one of the few men to be IWGP heavyweight champion, or whatever. I'm going to get flamed because I don't know the name of the actual belt, but he was the IWGP champion. He was the Noah GHC champion. He was the All Japan Triple Crown champion. He has won the G1 Climax. He was a fantastic Greco-Roman wrestler himself, and perhaps an even better coach, it seems. That is Blue Justice, Yuji Nagata.
Yuji Nagata has been added to Bloodsport over WrestleMania weekend, Friday, April 17th. No opponent named yet, Tom.
It's not going to be me. So don't make that face.
I'd think about it. Yuji Nagata.
I've already beaten Yuji Nagata once.
I'm talking myself, not you.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, nobody. Get the...
Yuji Nagata, Ulka Sasaki, Timothy Thatcher, Pete Dunne, Shayna Baszler, Eric Stevens, Fuminori Abe, Ray Jazz, Angel Verduzco, Joe Dashow, Masashi Takeda, Matt Mako, Royce Isaacs, and Miyu Yamashita. Well, Royce is going to be on the show. We got to do something eating-wise.
He's on like every Bloodsport.
I think he's on every show. Is he going to be there at Relentless in 2 weeks?
He absolutely will. He's going to be taking on Alex Zane once again. If you remember, They had a great contest at the last Monumental show that Relentless had, and they're going to run it back. They've been battling it out over the past few months, and they're going to end that feud at Monumental 3.
Yeah, if you guys aren't aware, Monumental 3 is coming to Spokane, the Northern Quest Casino. I'm going to be there with the kids. Filthy Tom is going to be there as well. And a lot of big names. Santana is going to be there. And
I believe it's actually Airway Heights, Washington.
The Bad Apple is going to be there. And
wait a minute. Yakima is just down the road. Isn't that where he's from?
So anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So check it out. Come say hi to Tom and I.
Oh, that's a mushroom, not an apple.
A lot of fun. Will you shut up already so I can plug the show we're actually going to be at, Tom? I'm trying to do a favor here. Like, we're going to be on the show, trying to get the word out, and you're making jokes about bad apples. God. Are you happy?
I mean, that was pretty quick.
God. By the way, Brandon here says Jacob wrestled an angel. In the Bible, Jacob wrestled an angel. You can put that in there as well. Too late, brother. Dude, you think I missed that one?
Well,
You think
okay.
I missed that one? I got it in there already. Doesn't need to be added. You're going to get a history of wrestling, everybody. Hopefully a pretty good one, because I got a lot of people helping that know a lot more than me.
Do you have the future of wrestling in there? Because, Brian, I don't know if
sucks.
you've heard. I don't know if you've heard or not, but there is an AI Antonio Inoki.
Is there really?
An Android version on the way.
If you don't think, what are they calling him? Antonio AI Inoki, whatever?
I mean,
whatever they're calling him, if you think he ain't going to end up in the book, I got news for you. He will be there. All right. We'll talk about the Death Riders after the break and a amazing comment Jon Moxley made, and plenty more. NXT review. Back in a moment, Observer Live. If you love this show, you should consider signing up at WrestlingObserver.com. WrestlingObserver.com has every show that we have ever done. Over 15,000 podcasts in the archives, dating back to 2005. Searchable by show, searchable by year. Perhaps the first show you ever watched was 2008 WrestleMania? Well, you can head into the archives and you can find the podcast we did, all built around the 2008 WrestleMania. Every major show, whether it be WWE, AEW, we covered it all. 15,000 archived shows at WrestlingObserver.com. Also, when you subscribe, you get full access to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. There's a new Observer every Friday. And on top of that, we have thousands and thousands of archived issues of the Observer dating back to 1991. So again, WrestleMania 2008. Go to the archives, search WrestleMania 2008, read all of the issues surrounding that show. Of course, Wrestling Observer newsletter, 40,000 words of news and information on pro wrestling and mixed martial arts every single week. New issue comes out every Friday. New back issue comes out every Monday. You also get the discussion board. One of the best discussion boards on the internet. It's members only. If you're going to troll, well, you got to pay to troll, and there aren't too many of those. And if you cause too much trouble, you're out of there. So if you want a great place to discuss professional wrestling, it is the board. Also available as a subscriber at WrestlingObserver.com. The whole package, all of the new shows, all of the archived shows, all of the new issues of The Observer, all of the archived editions of the newsletter, all of the past episodes of Wrestling Observer Radio, Wrestling Observer Live, The Bryan and Vinny Show, Figure 4 Daily, Filthy 4 Daily, The Board, all of it, just $14.99 per month. The full shebang, and you can save a lot of money getting an annual subscription. A full year, you basically get 2 months free. So check it out, WrestlingObserver.com, everything you'll ever need as a fan of professional wrestling. Check it out today, F4WOnline.com. Look at the show. Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Filthy Tom Lawler. So, John Moxley...
Why'd you say it like that?
I'm just thinking about what I'm about to talk about. Jon Moxley was on Renee's AEW Up Close podcast. And this man says what's on his mind. He was asked about the Death Riders and where the name came from. And he goes, it means nothing. It's just words put together. I like it because it's kind of that wrestling Japanglish. There was some kind of commercial with a jacket from Goodwill that said Death Riders, I think was Like the motorcycle guys who ride around inside the big steel ball at the carnival, which I've never done. I have no idea what it means or where it comes from, but in Japan, they started calling me the Death Rider. And it's a word that means nothing, but to me, it means something now. He then says...
Excuse me?
It gets better. He then says...
How?
He's talking about the group and the people in the group, and he goes, I don't think I would be here if not for these people. I don't know what I would be doing. I might be in jail by this point, if not for this group of people. You know, like a couple of years ago, I'm looking around, and I still look around to this day, and I'm like, I'm surrounded by clowns everywhere. And I listen to people talk, and I'm like, do you even know what you're talking about? Are we even talking about wrestling? I don't think you even know what you're talking about. That. There should be an Observer Award for the quote of the year. Yep. The Death Riders.
I mean, he's right.
I know. That's why I'm laughing so hard. That's why it's such an incredible quote. You know, like a couple of years ago, I'm looking around, and I still look around to this day, and I'm like, I'm surrounded by clowns everywhere, and I listen to people talk, and I'm like, do you even know what you're talking about? Are we even talking about wrestling? I don't think you even know what you're talking about. That'd be a big shirt, but I'd like that on a shirt.
Print it.
We got new recruits to the Performance Center.
Can you read it again? One more time.
I should have that deep voice guy read it before the start of every one of these shows. Yes, we got 4 new recruits to the Performance Center, including Rain Leverkusen, an indie wrestler.
Don't do this to me.
Who has now changed their name to Rain Leet.
I have to mention it.
Go ahead.
All I can think is somebody on Twitter. I should go find him so I can give him credit because I'm never going to be able to unthink this. All they said when they saw a picture of her was, "When did JC Jane get a mullet?" And I died. I'm never. I mean,
and you can no longer unsee it.
I can't. I just can't unsee it. I can't even speak into the mic. I'm still laughing at that John Moxley quote.
Wacky Wednesday here on the show, everybody. Wacky Wednesday. Hey, you guys have kids? You should get the book Wacky Wednesday. It's a Dr. Seuss book under a pseudonym. And
how many times did this guy? I wrestled Moxley a few times. All I could think, I think I was in a Sister Act nun outfit, whatever it was. So what the hell was he thinking then? There's no way he didn't look around and think I am surrounded by a clown.
Well, hey, was the match good in the end? That's all that matters.
It was a lot of fun.
He did say if they let me, I'd wrestle every single day, which I also believe, by the way. That's one thing about...
because he's got to get out of the woods because Bigfoot's on the hunt.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to talk about that on.
He needs to hide ASAP.
Guys, listen. I don't know if I have time to talk about this on. There is an After Dark. Actually, we will talk about this today, so never mind. That's your tease for After Dark Radio. 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern. Jason Offit is our guest. Finding American Monsters. I can't remember the exact name of the book, but it's about American monsters. We will talk about this Bigfoot story in John Moxley's home area. It's too bad he's in San Jose right now, or he'd be out looking. Let's see.
Well, have there been any sightings since he left that area?
Actually, there have. There was another one.
So he is not the Bigfoot.
No, there's definitely another one yesterday. Yeah. I'll just tell you guys right now, the BFR report of this, they described it as a surge. There have been like 6 Bigfoot sightings in one area in like the last week, and there was a 7th or something like that the other day, like yesterday. So, closing in on him, everybody. Closing in on him. All right. Saturday's Collision, 370,000 viewers. Second lowest audience total since January 24th. 18 to 49 is a .05. Also the lowest rating the show has done in that category since January 24th. Of course, they went head-to-head with the NXT Vengeance Day PLE, which, they had also, the World Baseball Classic, which did very well, and 2 hours of UFC 365 on CBS. But the fact is, the thing that hurts Collision most is WWE or NXT PLE, so that's what happened there.
Baseball Classic's going to do a little bit worse now that the USA is going to get bounced because their bonehead coach thought they were already through to the next round. And then, do you know the U.S. lost to Italy last night in baseball?
Wow. How about that?
Mamma mia.
Then we have Friday Night Smackdown, 1.19 million viewers. This is the lowest audience total the show has done since January 23rd, which was prior to when the ratings got adjusted by Big Data Plus panel. It did a .27, which is down 20% from the previous week. And this is all notable. This is all notable, everybody, because this show did not do very well. In fact, it did pretty poorly. And this was the show with Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. Now, granted, no one knew what would happen. I'm not sure how many people expected a title change. But there was a World Championship match in the main event, and the title changed hands, and it did not do that well at all.
Well, it was also going head-to-head with Power Slap 13, headlined by the Wolverine versus the Mighty Hawaiian, dropping down
is that
to
right?
light heavyweight.
Well, Ronda Rousey tells TMZ.
You can't even get, I'm laughing, but you can't even get tickets. I looked. A ticket was like $800 for one.
$800?
Yes.
That's like WrestleMania prices.
What do you think it's going to be like to see Jake Hager debut in Power Slap
how many
before
seats
Mania?
do they have available?
One.
No, how many were in the building, dude?
Oh.
If there was one seat in the building, I'm not surprised by the $100 price.
Actually, it sounds like a pretty good deal then. But it was sold to Nina Drama for less. Yeah. I think like maybe $1,500 in Fountain Blue, maybe $1,000.
Wow. Pretty good. All right, Ronda Rousey claims she's better than ever. Definitely better than I've ever been, she says to TMZ Sports. So what do you think about that?
I think that's...
She hasn't fought in like a decade.
I was going to say that's hard to do, but she did look like she was in great shape.
Well, sure, but she hasn't fought since 2016. So we're looking at literally, she has not fought for a decade, and she did a lot of pro wrestling in between. And basically, obviously, she's 10 years older than she was the last time she fought. I know people say this.
Maybe her striking's good now.
We've seen like a lot of older fighters that like they're just like shredded, but man, once they get in that cage, reality catches up to them. But at the same time, she is facing Gina Carano, who hasn't fought in even longer, and I think it's like 43 years old now. Although Gina's gotten pretty good shape as well, from what I've seen. May 16th, Ronda is now completely on the offensive. Before she wouldn't really say anything bad about Dana or UFC, but man, she's just burying him now. Bury that White House card, burying UFC. So.
She's not the only one burying that White House card. A lot of media outlets are also doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And using my quote as the headline.
They used your exact quote, huh?
My LOL, that's it.
Well,
no mention of the UFC on my part. It could have been about anything.
Well, the timing, I think everybody... The timing and the former UFC fighter tweeting about it, I think, made it.
Do you know
clear.
me? I could have had a skunky beer.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You'd have talked a lot more about it.
That's true. I would have buried that beer.
Kenny Omega's back at Sumo Hall in Japan for a wrestling match. Not for a wrestling match, I'm sorry. For a Capcom Cup 12 video game tournament. So,
did you see Shinjuku Face is
shutting
closing?
down.
Yeah.
They've been around forever.
Sure have.
But anyway, he's not going to be there at, obviously, Dynamite tonight, and looks extremely unlikely that he will be at Revolution unless he can get out of the... But at this point, it's like, why? What, are we going to announce a last-minute Kenny Omega match for Sunday? I don't think it's going to happen. So, Strickland's at the show facing Brody King. Pay-per-view.
Sean Strickland?
Crypto.com Arena.
Sean Strickland versus Brody King.
His actual name is Shane Strickland, so it's close enough.
That's a fight I want to see.
Yeah. So, I don't like this. These Sunday AEW pay-per-views I don't think are a good idea unless they're in the afternoon. I mean, it's fine for me, and I'm on the West Coast, but all you East Coasters, it's like, the show's starting at 8, and it ain't getting done till midnight, and maybe even later. You know, Tony does what he wants, and it's going to be a long night, guys. Long night. Anyway, we're going to do a break. When we come back, we will do the NXT television report. Back in a moment. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
I am going to channel the well-known, infamous roast of Bryan and Lance.
Oh my God.
I vaguely remember this.
Lance was a champion in virtually every company he has appeared in. While he did hold the distinction of holding 3 titles, that angle fizzled out faster than his podcast, Killing the Town.
Wow. I now remember this utter disaster of a roast.
Let's get Lance a chair to sit in. And as we do, could we also bring someone up here to show him how to use it? I remember that chair shot. I don't remember who it was on, but
utter silence that this roast was met with.
Tom, at least I was smart enough not to do those chair shots again.
Bryan, besides me, there are others who I'm sure dislike you, like Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff, but I think you're great. Like a guiding light or a father, which is why I'm not surprised when you screw me every week. The best-selling author of The Death of WCW. He had just completed his new book, for which actually Lance Storm wrote the foreword, which is 3 more than most wrestling fans know.
Hideous. Atrocious.
It must be hard when you look so young. If I didn't know better, I'd say you had your grandma's jeans. But actually, if the camera panned down, I bet Lance is wearing them. Anyways, let's start the show. Carmelo went for the La Mystica. Andrade went for the Message.
It's actually not the La Mystica. It starts like a La Mystica, but the La Mystica is actually a submission, and he doesn't land in the submission. He just does the whole slam part and then jumps up.
Yeah, the La Mystica is a tilt-a-whirl head scissor into a Fujiwara armbar.
Into a Fujiwara armbar. The La Mystica is not the submission. Do not tell me
I didn't say that was a submission. I said the La Mystica involves the tilt-a-whirl facebuster into the submission. The whole thing. Why are you so angry?
Well, you just changed what you said live, right?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't land in a submission. He just slams them. So it's not a La Mystica.
I believe that's the actual move.
Okay,
but
whatever. Who cares?
I just hope Editor Sean pulls up the exact clip of you saying, La Mystica's a submission, and then denying it afterwards.
La Mystica is actually a submission. I didn't say that was a submission.
La Mystic is actually a submission? I didn't say that was a submission.
Editor Sean.
Breaking the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Thank God that clip of us talking about Moxley's quote has been put on the Observer Twitter. I'm retweeting it out right now. Hopefully that thing can go viral. Right? Is that what the kids say?
I don't care. Sure.
Hey, let's do this NXT report. Just downplay and bury everything, Tom.
Listen, buddy. You've been viral for a long time, infecting the masses.
Oh, yeah? No, what I've been doing is trying to fix the problems in this business, which I've done many times so far.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
I look around and I'm surrounded by a clown at all turns, no matter where I go. Anyways, NXT on the CW, much to the happiness of the Orlando crowd, the new North American champion Tatum Paxley opened the show. She did an in-ring promo, but was cut off by the former North American champion, Izzy Dame, after a few minutes. She played a video package showing what was a near unrecognizable to me, Tatum Paxley, in her early years in NXT. Then Izzy trash-talked her. Spears and Vance showed up on the apron and distracted Tatum, and Izzy Dame powerbombed her, stood over with the NXT North American title held high.
I was furious when I saw this segment because it's like, this feud has been going on for months. Tatum beat her for the title, and we've got to keep this feud going. But they announced it was going to be taking place. The rematch is next week.
Dude, they announced it outside. What happened is later on in the show, Tatum, Shiloh Hill.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Wait,
the point is, at least
you already buried the lead, nerd.
I'm just saying, thank God they're blowing it off next week and we can move on to something else because I'm sick of it.
We think.
No, it's got to be done.
Ricky Saints confronted Ethan Page about sliding the title too hard at the PLE and said now they are both naked without titles. I love these two together.
They're actually pretty good together.
Back and forth.
Ricky is actually playing really well off Ethan Page.
Yeah. Jasper Troy's triple threat challenge against Shawn Legacy and Eli Knight on his way back to
here we go.
Hopefully recapturing the Speed title took place.
Stop.
Well, what do you think he wants to do?
Well, I
That's
know,
what his
but
goal
you
is.
said hopefully as if you were hoping he would win that Speed title back.
I don't think he's even heading in that direction anymore. Jasper Troy was knocked to the floor as the other two teamed up on him early. Keanu Carver then emerged from somewhere, and he spine-buster Jasper through the announce desk, started yelling in Booker T's face for good measure, "Keep your name out of my mouth." Then Legacy and Knight whacked each other in the ring for a while. Troy recovered on the floor. He got back in the ring, laid out both guys. He double Samoan dropped him, buried Knight with a chokeslam, but Legacy broke it up with a double stomp. Troy went for the black hole slam, but Legacy drop kicked him, and they both hit flying attacks, and they double pinned him. What? When has this been allowed ever? Why is this a finish? Why isn't it just broken up? Can you explain this to me?
It was awful.
They created a new finish. This has never happened before in the history.
The
pinfall has to be broken up. Both people can't pin.
The only
What is
time
this?
they've done double pins is when somehow you've got two referees and they each make a call. A double pin is so stupid. And then I gotta talk about this. So they do this finish, okay? Both men get the pin. And Booker T is aghast.
As well he should be.
And he's literally struck dumb. And then Vic goes, and I quote, "That was a good call." And then there is a long pause. There is a long pause. And you hear Booker mutter, "You kidding me? Good decision." The hell are you talking about as they cut away? And then I was like, this guy's the greatest. So let's cut to the chase. They announced later in the show that next week in Houston, they are doing Booker T Appreciation Night. I've never been so excited for NXT. I cannot wait for this show. And, there are people on the internet yesterday that were like, this is done to take a shot at Dave. Like, Dave voted for him as worst announcer. The Observer Awards, he was voted worst announcer, which, as I've noted, was stupid. He's not the worst announcer in wrestling. In fact,
you said he's not even the worst on that team.
I did. And I stand by that. But anyway, especially after that, Vic said this was a good call.
There's somebody else.
What are you talking about, Vic?
Vic. There's somebody else on this show.
Are you talking about Blake Howard?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get to him later.
Okay.
But anyway, the point is, this has nothing to do, I don't think there's anything to do with the Observer Awards. What I think is going to happen is next week during Booker T Appreciation Night,
no.
Carver's going to carve him up. And that's going to set up something for WrestleMania. That's why I think they're doing it next week. I think there's an angle here that they're doing. But I'm going to appreciate the guy, I'll tell you that much.
The big Jasper Troy babyface turn we've all been waiting for.
I guess, yeah.
That's right.
Hey, it's something.
I'm okay with it. Shiloh Hill is, he helped Tatum Paxley take the wheels literally off the Culling's car outside. We had Charlie Dempsey and Tavion Heights take on the Birthright.
Oh, this
Uriah
was so
Connors
stupid.
and Lexis King.
Tony,
it is.
You thought that did I call you Tony? Tom? You thought the finish of that three-way was stupid.
It was.
It was stupid. This was even more stupid because we all knew what was going to happen. There's going to be a horseman beatdown.
Apparently, even Charlie Dempsey knew, which then begs many questions.
This makes it so stupid because this is one of the easiest things to do. You put the match together. Tavion starts. He does some stuff with the other two guys. They get some heat on him. He finally goes to make the tag, and the moment Charlie tags, he turns on this guy and beats him down. That's a horseman beatdown, okay? Instead, of course, since we all knew what was going to happen, they had to try to swerve us. So what happens is Charlie starts. Charlie is beating up these other guys. They're beating up him. Tavion and Charlie work together to beat up the other guys. They finally end up outside, and down the aisle comes Fit Finlay and William Regal. And that's when Charlie grabs Tavion, gives him the German, and they throw him in the ring.
Anything.
And I know they just came down the aisle.
They just stood there, and Charlie Dempsey looked at him.
This was so stupid.
Was the agreement like, hey, if you guys show up, I know that's my turn. That's my chance. I have to turn on him. Was this agreed to beforehand? What was this?
It was
he just
swerve.
Like, the only way I can believe it is if he comes on the show next week and he's like, you know what? Lexis King is so annoying that I just had to get my licks in, even though I knew that I was going to.
But he beat up both guys. He beat up Lexis. He beat up I mean, this was just dumb. This was an example of everybody knows where it's going, so we're going to try to fool you. But in the end, it just makes the angle stupid. This sucked. So now Dempsey's with the guys whose ass he was just beating. And dumb. It's just dumb.
Hey, you know what was good? We finally found out what Tony D wanted.
Yeah.
And it didn't take him forever.
You skipped the culling part with their
I already said that.
Their wheels had been removed.
I literally said that
The car
before.
alarms are all going nuts because Shiloh explains, I didn't know which car was there, so I took the tires off all the cars. Even though in the parking lot there were no other cars with tires off. And then and then he gives the tire iron to old Stone. Stone walks out with it, and then the Dark State thinks that, or the Culling, they think that he took the tires off.
Which would be
stupid.
Absolutely insane.
It's so stupid.
I wish that was actually the storyline. The GM is going around taking tires off people's cars. Anyways, Lola Vice and Sol Ruca gave each other words of encouragement.
You didn't
backstage.
talk about Tony D.
I just said he wanted the title. No? Did I not get that far?
The important thing about it is he comes out, and this is a perfect example. He just comes out and he goes, I ended Dark State, and now I'm going to tell you about why I returned. And then he just starts rambling, and he starts telling the story of his life. And the fans, who they like the guy, but they're like, say it! Like, literally, they're yelling, just say it! And he stalls, and he stalls, and he stalls, and finally goes, I want the NXT title. I'm like, why didn't you just say it, brother? You bored everybody. Then we had Lola and Soul.
Yeah. They bumped, since you can say it, they bumped asses in agreement that they will face off at Stand and Deliver. Sol Ruca took on Laney Reed. This was good. This is a long back and forth match.
I hated it.
What?
Yeah.
Sir, this was the best Laney Reed match so far. She's young in her career. This is what they have to. This is good for her.
But Tom,
we're going to say Sol Ruca doesn't need to be going 50-50 or not even 80-20 or whatever it was.
She went 80-20 with Laney.
Good.
She looked like she barely belonged in there. Laney was the one who was more impressive of the two. And
she should be at this point. Sol Ruca's already made.
Sol's getting a championship match next week.
She's a heel.
She could barely beat Laney Reed. She looked less impressive than Laney Reed. And then my main man, Vic, goes, man, Laney looks good here. If she gets a win tonight, she might be in line for the title. I'm like, JC's the champion. What are you talking about? She's going to beat Sol Ruca, and then she's going to face her partner for the title? What? No. Sol won.
This was good.
The wrestling was pretty good.
I will argue with you.
I hated the way they put the match together.
We found out that Shawn Legacy and Eli Knight will team now. They will not go for the Speed title. So it lessened the poison just a little bit of elixir on that 2-for-1 pin for me. However, I still hated it. And there's a tag title tournament starting next week, as you mentioned.
Yes.
Blake Monroe was with, what's this guy's name?
Blake Howard.
Blake Howard. So Blake Monroe is going to go after Tatum Paxley in some manner. That's what we found out.
Great.
But it's more about Blake Howard because I watched this segment and I hated this guy. You know how like Dave saw Mark Nash and hated him?
Wow.
This was my version of that.
You hated his face?
Yes, actually.
Wow.
I looked at him. I didn't like him. I didn't like the way that he presented himself. I didn't like the way that he looked at the characters. But if I can skip ahead just a bit, okay? He did an interview with JC Jane later.
Yeah.
And I kind of I flipped. I did a 180 on him because I figured out what he is. He's a stirrer. He's an instigator, but he's also scared of everybody backstage. What a great interview character. He's not like in their face like Mean Gene and pushing their buttons. He's doing it from underneath. This guy's got some promise. He's like almost like a heel interview character. You got to watch him.
I did. I didn't hate his face like you did. Ren Sinclair, Thea Hale, Ren
but now
won
I
quickly
like his face.
with the final wrench. Silly.
Sure.
And then may as well jump to the main event.
Yeah,
Joe Hendry
yeah.
and Miles
hold
Borne.
on, no. Thea Hale hurt her hand on a dive, so her best course of action was to try to finish a submission by locking her wrist with that same hand. Gotta question the tactics.
Bad call. She had 3 minutes. She was Russian.
Is she?
Yeah.
I thought she was American.
Hey, we can talk about this main event before a break or what? All right, back in a moment. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
It's Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V, and we hope that you enjoy the show.
Should I do one more time? Huh? I played the entire song before realizing I had not hit record.
I figured as much.
So I had to start the entire show over again. Uh-oh. Is my internet down? My internet died. Yeah. All right. Stand by, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're back. And we're just gonna barrel on through, right, Vinny? What do we have on that Facebook thing? Now it says no audio. Jared, do we have audio?
I can hear you.
Honestly, what is going on?
Yeah, we just watched a movie
What
about
is
this.
up with my internet? Lost everybody again. Curry says no problems with the Big Vinny V show.
His words.
Not since the first one.
I was gonna say the very
There have
first
been
one was a
Many
disaster.
problems. Many
Yes.
problems.
We've had quite a few.
Yeah, and you know what I do? I just barrel on through.
Brian.
Barrel on through should be the name of this show. What the hell's going on this week? Like every single show, something goes terribly wrong. Today, I didn't have the music set to go at first. Then I got it set to go, but I forgot to hit record. Finally, I hit record and got the song going right. Golly. One disaster after another here. We're starting 15 minutes late. I still can't find the video, Jared. Is it up? Where is everything? Granny's joining us here today via phone. We cannot connect our audio or video. It's a blank screen. I don't know what's going on. What are we doing? Should we just quit today? I don't know what the problem is, Granny. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's going on. We still have no video. I got a question. Where's the goddamn video at?
You gotta fire Jared.
All right, now it's up. Hello, everybody.
This is the one you told me to do last week, Undertaker plus Psycho Kid.
Okay.
Are you done laughing?
Yeah, we're done.
Yes, Granny, I apologize.
There'll be more.
Then Psycho Sid comes out with blonde curly hair. Hard to pull. Lasts a while before he gets out of it. I had to give that a 10.
A 10.
Oh, wow.
Undertaker won a match and a belt. That's a 10 on the granny scale.
Victor is still at it more than ever this week, as far as the soaps go.
Hell of a report, Granny.
All right.
That was a 10 on the Granny soap opera report scale.
Okay, just a minute.
Jared, you're forgiven. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Main event, Filthy.
Oh, yeah. Ethan Page and Ricky Saints took on Joe Hendry and Miles Bourne, the North American and NXT champions, respectively. And they showed dissension early. Page had the match in control, wanted the belt, but Ricky Saints slid it way too hard past him. They ended up back on the same page later. Saints called for Page to toss him the belt. Ethan completed it, but the ref took it from him. Hendry rolled up Saints for a 2 count. Saints hit the spear, but Page blind tagged in during this. Bourne drop kicked Saints out of the ring. Page gave Hendry the twisted grin on top of the belt as the ref was with Miles Bourne, and Ethan Page pinned Joe Hendry to get the win for his team.
I actually thought this was a very good finish. Although it is weird because we got Stand and Deliver coming up, and Joe Hendry just got challenged by Tony D, but then he just got pinned by Ethan Page. So I don't know which way they're going.
And then Ethan Page celebrated in Miles Bourne's face.
Yeah, that was also weird. And then after a whole match of Ricky and Ethan arguing and shoving and such, or at least arguing, they were friends again afterwards. But then they looked at each other weird. Who knows?
You know what? Reminds me of somebody else.
Maybe they should be the new Chop and Roll Express.
Why would they devalue themselves?
Oh!
I'm pretty sure they're doing fine.
That's
for
one of the
themselves,
great.
bud.
Hey, listen, we sucked as a team, but that's one of the great tag team names in wrestling history, I believe. The Chop and Roll Express. Hey, guys,
Believe that all you want.
these
but-
chop and rolls are out of here. We got to go. But I want to thank you all for listening. After Dark Radio's coming up in an hour, 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern. However you're listening to this show, YouTube, Twitch, Sports Byline, TuneIn Radio, you can listen to After Dark Radio live, 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern. We're going to talk Bigfoot and monsters. It's going to be awesome. So we'll talk to you then. Wrestling Observer Live.